The third and final preseason game is almost here. It is, thank God, not a 10 p.m. start. A much more normal human being start, 4 p.m. Eastern, or practically like 4:15 given their own history there. Cowboys are an early 3.5-point favorite against the Chargers. A lower over-under should be a plenty of backup heavy game. So who you got in this one? D for the Dallas Cowboys or L for the Los Angeles Chargers. It also works because it means the Cowboys are going to take the L. I like it. Vote for me in the comments of today's show. We'll talk 5 things to watch for. You knew what number 1 was going to be. It's been our number 1 thing every preseason game. I want to see more growth from Trey Lance. We saw growth in week 2. Now, we broke it down on the channel previously. Several different reasons why that growth happens. Some for Lance, some for supporting cast stuff. That's what happens in football. It's never just one thing, even though it'd be a lot easier if it was. Sometimes it's more of one thing than the other, but I digress. Lance was better in week 2. I would like to see him take another step forward in week 3. And that probably means, in particular, more big plays. I've seen some good stuff from Lance. I think actually pre-snap, he's pretty solid. That hasn't played that much football. He's able to check in and do some good stuff on that front there. Didn't miss as many plays. Now, I want to see him take a second step forward. I want to see him be a little bit more of a borderline dominant preseason player when he's playing backups. Because you can argue the quarterback 2 stuff with Rush, and that is a very valid argument. But beyond that, I got to see a lot more before I'm fully drinking all that Kool-Aid. Number 2 thing to watch for. As of filming, I haven't seen anyone mention this. Is Dak going to call the plays again? Because that worked really well the last time it happened. It was Will Grier against the Raiders, vanilla defense. He threw for like 300-something yards, or total yards, 4 TDs. Dak dialed up some pretty darn good plays for the Cowboys in that game. So I kind of want to have him do it again. I think it helps him with just understanding game flow, and I think it's a good thing for a guy that I think could actually be a really good coach when his playing career is over. I think it helps master the offense. I think it builds some chemistry with the starter and the backup. So I would like to see Dak call the plays again because it's fun, it's entertaining, and I think it's a good thing for the Cowboys and maybe for Trey Lance as well. So do you think Dak should call the plays this week? Y for yes, N for no at the pinned comments of today's video, especially if that ad comes here on YouTube. Number 3, Mazi Smith's return. I assume he plays in this game because I think it's good to give him the reps with where he's at in his career. He missed, of course, week 2 after clearly some false information that had been out there that I had seen and didn't report because I didn't trust where it had come from. But Mazi Smith had dealt with a peanut allergy reaction, which is that's not something you screw around with, by the way. So he was on the bus set to travel to the plane for the preseason game and had to bail and come back because he had some type of allergic reaction to peanuts, that's not one you mess around with. I had thought sting or bite had been my random guess, but peanut allergy reaction. Okay, glad that got taken care of. Good thing I assume there were trainers on board too, because that can be actually quite scary there. I thought Mazi Smith was actually kind of pretty solid in that last preseason game. The first one, I should say. Not a lot of splash plays. The box score did not give him a TFL. That's BS. He had a TFL. He made the tackle on the screen. I thought that was ridiculous. But he did his job well. His job is not to be 7-sack guy. His job is to be a 1 technique. His job is to be a nose guard. Absorb blockers. Take on double teams. Don't get pushed around. Make life easy on the linebackers behind you. Like, that's what I want out of Mazi Smith. I thought I saw a decent amount of that in week 1. I think the overall conditioning is still in a work in progress because, as it turns out, it is very tough to rehab a shoulder injury and gain weight and be in shape all at once. That's not how the human body is built to handle things. So it's a work in progress there. I want a contributing football player in year 2, and I have some optimism that we can get that. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You can find some super deals, some amazing deals, and save money to your next big football event, to your next big baseball event, NFL, college as well, comedy, concert, theaters, and more. Download the Game Time app and create your account over at gametime.co. Use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price guarantee. That's gametime.co and promo code CHATSPORTS. Number 4, if you know me, you knew this was going to be on here. This was a no-brainer. Let the Deuce loose. You're kind of in a weird spot now, by the way, with what you have on your roster. You want to see what Trey Lance can do and let him sling that ball around. You also want to see what the running backs fighting for a roster spot can do. And that's Royce Freeman and Malik Davis and Deuce Vaughn. I think from what you have on your roster, I've got guys that can pass protect. I've got guys that can be the throwback power runner, right? That's Zeke Elliott. That's Rico Dowdle, can do a little bit of everything. Royce Freeman, I think Malik Davis, I think some of those roles are repetitive. I don't have somebody, and I am also still down to find someone who can do it better than Deuce Vaughn out there in free agency or the trade market, or be a better overall running back and be your true lead back. I want to see someone make some more plays. I want to see someone be shifty, be explosive, be a threat to get some explosive plays. You've got one explosive run this preseason. It was Deuce Vaughn's. Probably not something that should be overlooked. It's a small sample size, but I want to give him the ball. I want to get him some returns. I think Deuce Vaughn can be your number 2, number 3 return guy. Can be your number 3, number 4 back. I still think he can handle that role. Just don't give him the ball down by 20 and have him do inside zone 4 times. That's stupid. That's not what he's for. But let other backs grind out the clock. Well, let Deuce Vaughn live in space on the edges. You didn't do enough edge stuff last year anyway. Maybe they'll do more of it this season. They ran some zone and gap stuff. He ran well with both. But he is not guaranteed a roster spot. So does Deuce Vaughn make this Cowboys roster? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Get those predictions in for me in the comments of today's video. Finally, number 5 features a lot of names we'll actually discuss here. I want to see some bounce-back games. When we have winners and loser conversation, it can turn negative. And I always want to make it clear, I'm not hoping these guys are bad. Even if it was someone I didn't want to sign, I didn't want to draft, I want to be wrong. I want my team to win games. And the best way for that to happen is the players to play well. So we'll discuss some names here in a minute, but we will be live, if you didn't know, for the Cowboys-Chargers preseason matchup. If you haven't already, please hit that sub button right now. All right, some bounce-back candidates here. Jalen Cropper really did not play well in week 2. Fighting for a spot, show me more. I've been very mean to Viliami Fehoko. I wouldn't say wrong, but I have been mean. Therefore, it's not slander or libel if it is accurate. Make some plays, bud. Make me put you on this roster. Tyron Millie Johnson, great training camp, but he has just been a non-factor, whether it's his fault or not. In the preseason games, I think Princeton Fant and Brevin Spann-Ford. I don't know who that tight end 3 is because neither of them have really shown off yet. Like even John Stevens, I think, has been better. None of those guys have been overly flashy, so they're fighting for a spot. I thought Dakota Shepard was kind of bad in that second preseason game, so I want to see more out of him. Matt Waletzko, upon second view, was better than I thought he was live, and the tight ends were worse helping him out, by the way. But he's fighting for a spot. Got to see more there. I didn't think Damian Wilson looked that great either. That extra linebacker spot, whether it's Buddy Johnson, Willie Harvey, Damian Wilson, Nick Vigil, Brock Moggensen, Jason Johnson, there's one or two spots there. I have no idea who it's going to be. Not a single clue. So we'll see how that all ends up playing out. But I want to see some guys bounce back in that third and final opportunity to do so.